whatever, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to keep it. So I had to delete TikTok. I had to delete TikTok. You trying to rework your mind and do all these things, TikTok had to fucking go. So hopefully, if you're seeing this, you're also on the frequency to just get the shit done, get the work done, skip all the formalities. My name is Nia. We're gonna go with that. I wanted to get back on camera and start talking about this real occult work, because this is what I need, and a message to my younger self would also need this as well. So I'm in my shop right now, and I'm in my shop. I said, let's get back to the work. What's the work? The this. Let's see. Instead of starting over, I'm gonna start from right here. I deleted TikTok. I'm back online. We're back on YouTube. Whoever finds me, find me. Whoever doesn't, it is what it is. We're gonna go back to the idea that like you're actually finding shit on the internet that resonates with you, not because the algorithm is like shoving shit down your throat. I had to delete fucking TikTok because I'm like, what the fuck am I after? What am I feeding my brain? Dumb shit. Period. Dumb shit. It's like other people's programs. I'm trying to like type in shit so I can reprogram the algorithm. Then something just said, get the fuck up off this app. How about that? So we're in the season, you know, it's fall. We're getting into the dead of the winter. Our favorite holiday just passed, Halloween. For me, it was a shit show. And I say that because I had an attitude. And I don't really have an attitude anymore. That was like, oh, me. But anyways, let me speed you through this, right? Because I'm gonna try my best for this video to be straight channel. I'm getting back to the occult work. I'm getting back to the inner work. What better time to do it is fall time, winter time. So here we are. This is a time where you go inward. This is a time where you are supposed to go back into a hibernation state and just do the work. Figure out who you are. Figure out what do you really want to reprogram is really the baseline of what we're talking about here. We've already gone through all of the stages of like other spiritual practices. I'm talking to those who no longer subscribe to said group. We are just free balling it out here. We are free masters. We are creators, and we understand that. But because we're still on this bitch, stuff get a little tricky. And sometimes you just be forgetting and you need to tune up. So that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to those who already know, but we need a tune up. From time to time, I'm going to speak at different levels because I can only speak of where I am. We've created a space. We've created a world. We've been successful at creating that world. You're done with it. Now you want something else. You want to jump out and do, you want to tear down that one. Whatever you've built, you want to tear that down and build something new. How do we do it? What are we doing? So, first and foremost, if you don't got the time, I'm gonna tell you now, go ahead and don't even watch this, because this is pure unscripted. So there's gonna be some pauses. That's why I had to get the fuck off TikTok. I'm like, everything is a sales pitch. Everything is, so I'm looking over here because I can see myself. The camera is here. See myself? Camera's here. I had to get up off there because I'm like, everything is literally a sales pitch. I'm tired of being sold to. Like, I don't need to learn how to finesse. What is unique about the world that I have built is that I'm in it right now. This space that I'm in, I would show all of my, I wanted to set this up to where you could like see the things that are around me, but who cares? I'm gonna just be fiddling with stuff. So I'm sitting here and I'm in my studio space. And I had to reflect like, wow, I created this space. I created this space. This is an environment, this is a world in itself where people know me for a thing. They come in, they get a vibe, it's a frequency. I only get a certain type of person. People who are seeking some type of alignment, realignment, but it comes to like by the way of hair, because that's the service, right? So now I'm thinking like, okay, I'm done talking to you. I'm done working with these type of people. I now want to create a space where I don't physically have to be affected by one's energy, because sometimes people could come in here and I do a good job of curating the space to where like I'm in control, but there's been times where I know I'm picking up on other people's shit, and this is feeling really good. I can already feel like, okay, this was a good thing to get this going today. So I'm like, okay, I'm picking up on people's stuff, right? And I'm in this space, and I've got to clear myself of that. But every blue moon, I will meet somebody who's like on my frequency. Like, we're really talking that shit, and we don't even really have to say much. It's a true understanding. So when I have those appointments, it's like the task of doing their hair is nothing. It doesn't feel like that is even a conversation. Like, we are not physically doing any work. I'm not physically doing any work, because what we're talking about is such a high frequency that it feels almost unreal. And for the sake of the video, I'm pausing it because like in that moment, I just had to really breathe. And hone in on what's happening here. Last night, it became clear to me that I needed to get back to the foundation of what catapulted me to create this space. It was in a time like this, winter. It was actually COVID. So, we had more stagnancy. We had more time to really build something, because you almost were being forced to build something new. You were being forced to build something new. So how do you recreate that same thing? You might look at the government shutdown, although it doesn't directly affect me. We can look at symbols and take that as another symbolic representation of a reset, and a reworking of energy, and you being quite forced to do so. So over here I have my candles going. I got my orange tree. Let me show y'all my orange tree. Isn't it so cute? It looks real. What? Can somebody tell me what's the meaning of oranges? What's the meaning of oranges? Even this, having this orange here. I don't know. I gotta look into that, because this past week I've been going orange crazy. Orange juice. I've been living off of orange juice. I haven't even been eating food for how much orange juice I've been drinking. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna eat some Jamaican food today. Okay, so I hope y'all can hear me well, and I hope that this is not too long. Let me pause it. All right, let me get back to the shits. Okay, so let me tell you about this story. Maybe about 2 years ago, I lived in Katy, Texas. Great place, love the vibes. I think about moving back probably every other day. I was pregnant, big as hell, on my last stretch of maybe a month, 2 months prior to going into labor. I just had a glow. It was just my season. It was time. Every person, the magnetic pull that you receive when you are a house, basically, for a new energy coming in, all the things you want to break it down to, that magnetic pull is for real when you are pregnant. So I was at a place where I was not financially, I was down bad, okay? I was down bad, down bad. But at the same time, my inner world was up every day. Okay, let me get my thoughts together to describe to you. So I've been able to financially carry myself ever since I decided to work for myself. Ever since. It's not been an issue. Not one time did I have any issues with my finances. Partnering with the wrong people and the wrong energies and all of the things, that's why you have to really, that was my lesson, was you think that your frequency being at its peak, or what you think is its peak, and trying to help another person who you have no idea really until you get into it where they are. Like, I thought I knew, but the reality of it is I had no idea. I had no idea. So needless to say, that energy was like fucking with my world. So I was in great spirits, but that led me to like work a fucking job when I was pregnant, and I was working at a store. Like, all of the things did not match up. It was for a brief period of time, but I made the best out of it. Like, I used to be in that store that was like, skeet, like, what's the little beep, beep? Like, I was in there playing. So that added to me having a great time. And so each person that used to come through my line, yes, I was a cashier. At like 7 months pregnant, I was a cashier. It's funny now. It was funny then. But really, like, oh, that shit. Okay, anyways, the point is, I met this lady. She used to come in there every day. And she used to be like, she had this child who was just rambunctious, and she used to come in there and buy toys every single day. Like, every day that I worked, I knew she was gonna come in there, and she looked very eccentric. Like, she had, I mean, Texas is pretty conservative. Like, being in Oregon and seeing all the wild shit, and then living in Texas and you being like, y'all don't really play that. So seeing somebody walk in with a platinum blonde wig and bleached eyebrows and like makeup done, and you not a drag queen, I'm like, So this lady comes in every single day with her kid, buying them all the toys. And it's like, okay, this stuff is not that expensive. You're probably spending about $20, but it's every day. Every day. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I wonder what she does. How do you have the time to do this? And they're not like, she wasn't rushing her child. She was just letting them do them, pick out the stuff. And that would be their task, right? Okay. So like, after the third time of seeing her, I thought to myself, I wonder what she does. She comes through my line, and this is a black lady too. And I'm like, thinking that, that was my train of thought. And she instantly picked up on it. It was like, we didn't even lock eyes. It wasn't like an exchange. It was just literally like, she was in my presence. She was getting ready to put her things up, and I was getting ready to scan her items. And she just starts talking like, oh yeah, I just do YouTube, and I do this, and my son has special needs. And she just starts going into the whole explanation of what I asked. Like, oh, she just started telling me all the business. And in that moment, I said, oh, she heard me. So yeah, like, I could overthink it and be like, oh, I wonder what my face was giving off, like, so curious. But you had to be there. The lady just picked up the conversation as if we were having a physical conversation. So yes, I've had experiences with telepathy many of times. But in that case, what made it unique for me to talk about it was we were having a conversation. I've had experiences with telepathy where somebody asked a question out loud. I used to do this with my boss at the time when I was working for a market. I was doing marketing for this company, and she would ask questions out loud like, oh, what should the password be for the computer? And I used to think to myself, what I thought the password should be. And then I would just think it. I would focus on it in that moment, like, casual conversation. And then she would instantly be like, oh, I'm gonna make the password this. The password was something I just made up in my mind. I didn't share it, I didn't say it out loud. So I used to do stuff like that. That wasn't a real exchange, right? That was me kind of pushing information to one person. In this case, I realized that I was receiving a message from that lady, one, how it felt to actually receive a message from someone else. Two, I initially asked the question, so she had to have picked up on my message. So we were really having an unspoken conversation. I can't say that changed my life, but that is one of those moments where I'm like, I can't forget it. So I asked her after, like, oh, how did you do that? I said it out loud. How did you do that? Her simple answer was meditation. And I remember thinking to myself, dang, I really hate when people say that. I really hate when people say that. I really hate when people be like, just meditate. Just meditate. Just meditate. But here I am, in this case, last night, to run it back full circle. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck up off TikTok, and I need to get back to my creative space. And I need to just sit back and go back to the darkness. Here we are. I need to go back to the darkness and create some shit. Focus in and create. So that's the fuck we're doing. That's what we're doing, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I had to come to my shop at fucking 9 a.m. Like it's 9 a.m. on a weekday. That's my normal off day. This is not part of my normal routine. So you're stuck and you're trying to figure out how to recreate a new world. Once you make $1 million, you always know how to make $1 million. Be clear and make it clear to yourself. Hone in on what I'm saying. There's outside thoughts that are being programmed into your mind based off of your environment. You need to be able to decipher those thoughts versus your own original, authentic thoughts. You only know your own original thoughts by sitting with yourself and being in a meditative state. Because all that chatter is clouding your mind, and it's not even really yours. And it's fucking with the creation. It seems so simple, but obviously not, because it's like I had to clear away all the other stuff previously to this. I also decided to stop fucking talking. Stop talking. Like, quite literally. I haven't talked to my sister I haven't talked to my best friends. Barely been talking to my mommy. Like the core people that I usually talk to on the phone. Hold that shit. Quite literally just don't say nothing for a week and see how things start to transform for you. We're quite literally living in like a cesspool, depending on where you are. Even if you're in some rural town, if you're in the city, like you really have to do a good job of filtering out the noise. So all right, let's speed through it. We're filtering out the noise. We're cutting out all the shit, and don't force yourself. Like if you're really feeling like I love TikTok, I want to be on that bitch. I like Instagram. I like to doom scroll. Get your shit off. Do the things you want to do, but when you're ready, this is the sauce. Turn that shit off and take some time to where you're not interacting with a lot of people. Like you're literally keeping your commentary to a minimum. If you're at work, you don't have to start having a presence of irritation, but just hone in on the talking. I've gotten to the point where I haven't been talking so much where I'm now reflecting like, bitch, why was you talking that much? Period. Why was you just chatting? It's like, what do you really need to talk about? Be mindful of what you're literally consuming. Like, that's been the message for so long. I can't say on TikTok, like, that's what the message was. Like, I'm scrolling and I'm coming across pages where they're just like, you're feeding yourself this, you're on this type of frequency. It's the truth. Like, you really need to hone back into yourself. Okay, so like, you having trouble with meditating, get it down to a minute, then 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 30, then an hour. Then you're sitting there and you're totally zoned. And it's fine to go get help too. Like if you need a guide, find one. Like I went to hypnotherapy, I think it was this time last year, or it might have been the year before. Now I remember that formula. So anytime that you are in a deep meditative state, you should be able to recall that back. You should be able to get that space back because you did it before. So you know what that piece is like. So when I did hypnotherapy, and that's a whole nother video in itself, that opened me up to a world of like, oh, I really understand now. I can decipher the voices. When you're in that deep meditative state, you don't have your ego running rampant. You don't have your ego just talking shit the entire time. It's literally your inner voice and that observer. And people have different names for these things, where it's like, you know, your ego, your spirit, and your soul. The Trinity, like that's the Holy Trinity in your body, whatever. I realize that there is the external thought, there's you generating these thoughts, and then there's another aspect of you that is observing these thoughts even happening. It doesn't have an input. It just is literally analyzing the data. It is observing the data, and that's it. So once you sit with yourself, you can really hone in that, wow, there's an aspect of my mind that is literally listening and observing, like a movie, these different trains of thought. And that shit is that's mind blowing and it's powerful. And once you are able to start sending out new programs, new thought patterns to override what the negative chatter is, you're in a game. And so that's why meditating is so important, because you're able to start working in there. It's like literally going inside your mind with a tool. Like, this is where the Masonic symbols of a, what is that triangle ruler shit, the square and the hammer and the stone or the brick, this is where that comes from. They're doing the work. They're doing the actual inner work. But if you literally think about it, all what I explained to you is all internal, and you have to sit there with yourself and say, where did that thought come from? I want a cheeseburger? Am I fucking hungry? And if I am hungry, where did the thought of the cheeseburger come from? I don't even eat that shit. Then you realize, well, you just drove past a big ass billboard, and you realize how much you're being influenced without external programming, subliminal programming that is not authentic to you. But all with that analyzing, you still had that part of you that only observed all of what we said. So that middle point, which I like to think is like your spirit, that's the part of you that literally knows what you want. It knows what's good for you. It knows. And you can decipher. And that part of you will say, I'm not even hungry. I'm not even hungry. So instead of being influenced and being swayed to do some shit you really don't even want to do, you don't fucking do it. And then you start listening to that part of you, and you start seeing the outcome of your life. But again, that work that you need to do is helping your mind with the program. So if you need to start asking questions to yourself, how do I make my day-to-day life better, easier? I wonder what it's like to live an easy breezy lifestyle. I wonder what it's like to make so much money with little labor. I wonder what it feels like to easily earn thousands of dollars every day. Ask those questions to yourself every single day. And at some point, that middle spirit is going to start leading you to those answers. Because obviously, if you're at this point, you've already experienced synchronicities in your external world where you're running into someone and it's like, oh yeah, I just said I like to walk dogs. So here comes this person that you meet and they're a fucking dog walker and they have this business and they're looking to hire people. You know, you've already experienced those things. So getting back in tune with yourself and tuning up that inner shop is going to allow you to remember how to create another world. And that is exactly what I'm on right now. I desire to create a community of like-minded individuals virtually where we share occult information that really leads to transformation, all the while of being my authentic self, all the while of generating thousands of dollars. Okay? Because what I've also realized is once you get to this place, it is really difficult to do things that are not in alignment with you. You really do need to like agree to like be in a place of like, oh, I'm gonna just test this out. Like this might be fun. I want to go work at a shoe store just for shits and giggles. But not because you have to. And that desire, I mean like not the desire, but that like doing things out of fear, once you can't go back. You can't go back. And the reason why you can't go back is like you could just start getting to this point of knowing yourself and being free and all the things, and you can just start going against everything that is yourself, and you just won't like, I guess, what the reality is of that. Your external world will really start showing you you made the wrong choice, and it will be immediate. I was doing hair the other day and my fucking back, it's like somebody just said pow, 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 with 2 knives in my fucking back. And I said, damn, today's the day. Like, you want me to stop doing hair in the middle of doing hair? But it's no confusion. I knew good and well, like, oh, it's time to wrap this shit up. It's time to do something else, because I've been saying I'm ready for the transition. I'm ready for the new thing to come in. So here we are. We're reprogramming our psyche. Like, that's what the call of the day is. We are reprogramming our psyche. For example, I say all this to you, and then there's a little chatter on the side. And it's what I think is interesting is that it comes from this side of the brain. It's not like projected from over here. If that makes sense. I hope somebody else can see that and like understand what I mean. Like, there literally is areas of these trains of thoughts that come out. Like, it's this middle point here, information here, I can trust it. Over here, I can trust it. When it's over here, it's literally like this side is just like a hating ass bitch that's just sitting there. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Because like I was saying, I can say all this to you, and then the other part is like, this is fucking lies. This shit ain't true. You sat there and brainwashed yourself to think all this. That's why you think all this. And it's like, that's what this whole storyline is about life, where you're in a constant war with your own fucking self. The beef you have with other people really isn't a beef. It's a beef between this aspect of you and this aspect of you at war. And then that middle point just sitting there like, I can show you the way, but you don't want to listen. So, I told you how you can soften that part of you is meditation, overriding the thoughts, observing which part of you is speaking so you know who you're listening to. I wonder if y'all can hear my neighbors. So yeah, shit. I mean, that's that, y'all. Like, we're recreating another world. That's what's going on here on this side of the YouTube. We are creating another world. We've created one before. What we're cultivating over here is making another one. Consciously, you have awakened to this reality that you are in control. You've done the shit before, but it kind of was like an accident. You were conscious, but you might not have been as aware as you are now. So now that you have a high level of awareness, you're kind of teetering with, can I really do this shit again? Like, this is the sophomore album of an artist. Is it gonna flop? Or is it gonna skyrocket? Is that shit gonna be like Michael Jackson time and time again? Or is it just gonna be like, damn, you really need to go back to the drawing board? That's who I'm talking to. We are recreating another world after creating one prior. So hopefully you were able to hear everything that I said. A lot of that information just was freely flowing out, so I didn't feel the need to project so loudly. So hopefully I was clearly heard. We'll meet back here another day. And I really do have all the great intentions for this video to find who it needs to find, and the community will be created, the world will be created in the ether space of the internet. Okay, see you later.